And now she is gone.
I will have another to place above you all, and this man here will lead me to her.
How delightful.
Now go. I must awaken him, for there is work to be done.
Master, we have nothing tonight.
We are so thirsty.
I always provide. She was to be mine, but now for your pains I give her to you. Am I not generous?
Truly, you are great.
Can you call me heartless now?
No, indeed. No, stop! Help me! Arthur, help me!
Jonathan,
What is
somebody
it?
help me!
What's the
Help
trouble?
me.
Wake up, Lucy, wake up. She's delirious. Get me my bag.
What transfusions?
What's happened? No, something to calm her. Get my bag.
No, keep away from me!
Lucy,
Help
I'm
me.
here!
Dr. Seward, what's wrong with her? Here. I don't know, Jonathan. Hold her. Her fever is simply not breaking.
Same as usual, she began thrashing and crying out.
Where is this teacher of yours? Professor Van Helsing should be here at any time now. Miss Pinkering, please make yourself useful and get me some tea.
Tea? At a time like this?
Just get it.
Yes, sir. Right away,
And
sir.
wake Mr. Quincy Morris.
I'm Mr. Arthur Holmwood.
I think Mr. Morris will do.
Mr. Holmwood is her fiancé. He should be notified.
Fine, but I can't say there won't be trouble.
Then control yourself.
Dr. Seward, was that tone necessary? You were rather rude to Miss Pickering just now. Man, I'm confounded and I've lost my patience with all this nonsense. Yes, I understand.
Poor Lucy. Jonathan, what are we going to do?
I know you love Lucy, but we must remain calm. Dr. Seward, what are we going to do? Indeed. Remaining calm is proper. Let's think about this logically. First, Miss Pickering.
Yes, sir?
My sincerest apologies. I was most rude to you just now.
Not to worry, sir. I understand you're a bit stressed these days. If there's anything else then, sir?
No, thank you. Secondly, we must find a way to get Miss Lucy back to good health. Indeed, that is our current situation.
But again, what are we going to do?
Logic. Let's review the events. You, Miss Mina, discovered Lucy some nights ago sleepwalking along the corridor.
Yes, it was most frightening.
She was pale and seemed to have lost a great deal of blood. This was after my return from Transylvania?
Yes.
And she has been sleepwalking every night since then, correct?
Yes.
Okay, see, he's glitching. This is he's on in his car. God damn it.
Meanwhile, she has irregular vital signs, no appetite, and puncture wounds on her neck. Is there anything going on with Lucy that you haven't told us about? Hello? Question.
What can you mean?
Has she had any relations that might have placed her in a position to become...
I don't follow you, Dr. Seward.
Is she in any state of being at present that might warrant a loss of blood, such as...
Such as...
Having been with a man? Mr. Homewood, for instance. Perhaps she and he
have... Are you inferring that Lucy might be pregnant?
In such a state, unusual things, loss of blood, feeling faint, dizzy spells could occur.
Of course she's not pregnant. Lucy is yet to be wed.
Nina, dear, Lucy has many admirers, and we were simply inquiring if perhaps she...
How could you suggest such a thing? While Lucy may have had many suitors, she is still honorable and virtuous.
Mina, my dear, don't get upset. We simply mean to rule out certain possibilities.
Well, rule it out. It is most certainly not a possibility.
That leaves, then, the question of her blood. How many transfusions has she had now, Doctor? 3. No, 4, including Mr. Holmwood's second effort. How can that be possible? Why does she keep needing blood?
It can't just be disappearing.
Still, she's losing it somehow.
Excuse me, Mr. Holmwood to see you?
Excellent. So good of you to come, Arthur.
Evening, Miss Murray.
Mr. Holmwood, I'm afraid Miss Lucy has had another bad spell.
Where's Quincy?
Just behind me.
Oh, we don't have Owen.
Oh, we don't have Owen.
Howdy, folks.
Good, we're all here.
Gentlemen, we may have to ask your assistance again, I'm afraid.
You need me to hold down another one of your lunatics?
That would mean only to restrain yourself.
Not this time. I'm afraid it's must-work at this present.
What the hell's going on?
Lucy's in trouble.
Again, Christ, Dr. Seward. I bring her to you for help, and you don't seem to be able to take care of her at all.
He has tried.
You stay out of this.
Gentlemen!
Didn't all this happen after your trip abroad? Didn't you say you brought something back with you? An unexplainable...
Yes, I did mention that I had felt as if something had followed me from Transylvania, but if you're looking to put the blame on me, then you have
This is
another
not
thing.
about placing blame.
Okay, guys, we can tighten this up even more, okay? Tighten this up even more. Isn't it obvious enough?
Excuse me, but Jonathan was simply following instructions placed by his employer.
I don't give a damn about his instructions. Where or whose instructions he had followed.
Then let it go. Just drop it.
We need your help.
More specifically and more importantly, Lucy needs our help.
And the sooner the better, if what I suspect is correct.
Van Helsing.
I received your letter and came without delay.
Van Helsing, you're here.
Your powers of observation serve you well. Now, if you'll use them in the correct situation, you'll fare better.
I am at a loss in that regard.
Professor, we do not know what to do.
In your earlier wire to me, you explained that she has been losing blood, yes?
A great deal now.
And not just hers.
And not just ours.
Indeed, you both have given blood to this poor creature, no doubt. And now she appears to need more. Both of you, roll up your sleeves.
What?
Are you surprised?
This is incredible. Preposterous.
Stop being so conventional and prepare the tubes and needles.
We just did this not an hour ago.
And you'll do it again. Mr. Homewood, Mr. Morris, quickly now.
I don't know if I can do this again.
What's wrong, old boy? A sight of blood makes you queasy?
Here, now. I can just go as long as you can. Give me a drink.
Would you be so kind? We can cut that if you want. Best idea you had so far.
Indeed. Extra Vasa will help you tolerate a transfusion.
Water? Are you kidding?
We mean a real drink. Give me a whiskey.
No. You must remember that there is a relationship between liquids that enter into your body and the effects they have, which cause changes in the body that are only now beginning to be understood. Even the church thinks as much. Science and scientific observation makes demands. We must follow them. To drink alcohol at this moment is out of the question.
I'm sorry. I'm doing too many
come
things.
on.
Oh, come on. Church is all too happy to provide me with wine every Sunday.
Quite right. And the precious liquid enables and empowers you in specific ways and is to be consumed in order to do so. The church teaches it and science verifies it. No doubt, but no alcohol now.
You don't mean to suggest that liquids retain properties that embrace the teachings of the church and go beyond science?
Answer the question yourself. Tell me, when you take the sacred communion, does not the bread and wine the priest hold change into the literal body and blood of Christ?
Well, yes, that is what the church teaches.
But whether we agree with that or not is an entirely different matter.
You need not agree. It is what it is, but it is not my concern, at least not yet. Transubstantiation, my friends, when the divine enters your body through the wine and bread, do you not think it has an effect on us?
Maybe, but the blood we are giving her is not exactly touched by the divine.
And if it were, she wouldn't be able to tolerate it.
Something so wrong with Lucy that she couldn't accept blood touched by the divine.
She must be purified, but first she must have blood.
This is incredible. She has already had the blood of...
It doesn't matter how many men have given blood. She will go on needing more if the source is not found and eradicated.
I don't understand.
It is no wonder you haven't found the cause. You haven't been looking in the right place. You were once an insightful and creatively thinking student. What has become of you? Think, man. You need only make careful observations. See, these men are drinking Vasa.
And
Yes.
Mike, so just be careful on that reading. It's
Yeah.
see these men drinking their water.
Yes.
You're asking him to look, to make an observation.
Physically look. Yes. Okay.
Right, because you're saying, you used to be a good doctor. You used
And
your
then-
power of observations.
Yeah.
Don't let the church sway you. Think scientifically, man.
Look over here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me take that back really quick.
No. Don't go back. Let's keep going forward.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, I can't go back right now. Dr. Seward, yes, good. Keep going.
Yes. Good. They drink. The water nourishes their bodies, keeps them alive. What must happen next?
What do you mean?
I mean, just what I asked. What must happen next?
What? I don't know.
To their bodies, what must happen next?
They drink the water?
They drink the water, but they must have more of it in order to survive. If they do not drink more, they die. That is what happens. Simple.
Yes, I understand that. They die, obviously.
And now you must apply what you have said, what you say, you obviously know, to what is going on at the present.
Lucy must have blood
Yes.
in order to survive?
Yes.
But she doesn't consume blood, at least not the way Arthur and Quincy consume water from a glass.
Not yet.
Not yet?
You don't mean to imply that Miss Lucy must drink blood in order to survive?
Surely not. A person simply manufactures more blood in order to survive.
Those who are not contaminated are able to do so.
Here now, what the hell are you talking about?
Something is not allowing her to manufacture blood.
You're beginning to understand.
This is becoming simple. Find the cause of what's not allowing her to create blood and eradicate it.
Very good. You have the makings of an astute doctor within you.
What is this thing?
Thank you.
It's not a thing per se.
The cause, then.
No, not a cause.
What then? Oh, I don't know why.
Are you finished, Dr. Stewart?
Yes, another transfusion. 2 at a time now.
Professor Van Helsing, what is this mysterious source you speak of?
I will explain, but first, tell me, Mr. Harker, during your travels in Transylvania, did you not hear the stories of a creature that must drink the blood of the living in order to survive?
Yes, the peasants had many strange tales of that nature, and were especially concerned since my business pertained to Count Dracula.
I remember that well, and if you ask me, Mr. Harker here brought something back with him that has caused...
Please do not start that row again.
I should like to hear more about this Count Dracula.
I don't know how much I could recall. I'm rather embarrassed at present, but much of what happened is now somewhat of a blur.
His appearance, then, surely you can manage that.
He had strong features, even his face, aquiline, a high bridge on his thin nose with highly arched nostrils. He was quite pale, and other than the wolves howling in the distance, he seemed to cast a palpable silence over everything, like snow over the land. I'm sorry, that's all I can recall at present.
Van Helsing, if I may, why don't you just ask him yourself? He will be arriving tonight.
Look!
Why, Arthur and Quincy.
Lucy,
I'm here for you, doll. What happened?
you're right now.
What's happening to me?
The doctor here is trying to figure that out. Meanwhile, you try to rest and keep quiet.
Oh, Arthur, I had the most horrible dreams.
Shh. Everything's all right.
Miss Lucy, how do you feel?
My head is pounding. These nightmares, like I'm falling into an abyss, and there was sounds and screams.
Don't get excited, Lucy.
Oh, it was horrible. Like I'm being rolled in nettles and I'm being consumed with, I don't know. What is that sound? I hear something. Stop it, everyone. I hear everyone breathing.
So I think Albert's frozen there, but Albert, you can jump in sooner, okay?
Okay.
You don't have to absolutely wait until the end of her line. All right. That's almost the case that's much of the case. Okay, for most people. All right. Keep going. The goal, if you guys have been paying attention, I've been putting some stuff in the chat there. The goal is less than a minute per page. That means it's it's 90 pages, so that's an hour and a half. Okay. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I'm changing, doctor. I can feel it in my skin. I want to tear it off. I can hear your heart beating like it's going to burst. Everyone's, I hear it.
Stop it, Lucy. You're frightening me.
I'm so hot.
Don't
So
have to wait
hot.
till the end of
Please
that line,
open the window.
Christina. You don't have to wait till the end of that line.
Okay.
All right. And Christine Bailey, if she jumps in and kind of like cuts you off
Just stop
very
talking.
early,
Yes.
if she cuts you off very early, then jump ahead. Just keep it going forward.
Yeah.
Okay, keep it going. Because you know what the thing is, guys, nothing is happening in this moment that the audience that we really need to know. What we need to get a sense of is that she is dying, that she's transforming, that there's real panic, real stress in the air. I have a couple of people watching our live stream right now, including my wife, and she said, well, sometimes they overlap and it's hard to hear exactly what they say. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's totally okay. All right. When there are moments where we actually need to think and we need to really hear the lines, you'll know what those are because you're going to do it naturally. All right. Okay, let's keep going.
I'll get it.
Oh, I'll get it.
No, it must remain closed.
She just wants fresh air, Professor.
No, it is imperative that the window remains closed and locked locked now and through the night.
You're not the doctor here.
But I am. Do as the professor says. Do not open any windows. Jonathan, get her a damp cloth for her forehead.
Right.
What kind of nut house are you running here?
The kind that's aimed to care for Miss Lucy.
With little success.
Stop it, all of you. Lucy's trying to rest.
Fine, but you have a lot of explaining to do. I want to know what's going on with Lucy. I want to know who's responsible for the condition she's in. I want to know what we're going to do about it. I mean, none of this is natural.
That is precisely the point. None of this is natural. We fight something that has the power of ages at its command. Something that has found its way through everything we hold dear and sacred. It finds its way through the body by captivating the senses, the eyes, the ears, indeed into the life force of the body itself. Miss Lucy's need for blood is not just a biological requirement. It is a desire, a need, a thirst that can never be quenched.
I don't believe.
And that is exactly the strength that sustains it. You see that poor child over there? Do you believe that? Look at her. She lies here, helpless, on the brink of an unspeakable state of being. She demands something that threatens everything and everyone that you hold dear. Yes, it is beyond belief itself, but believe you must.
Lucy,